目都睇唔到嘅。
即係啲貓係咪夜行性動物啊？
聽唔到，講多次。
啲貓係咪即係夜行性動物啊？
夜行性動物點講俾你聽咧？
算唔算啊？
可以係，可以係。
發現啲野豬都係似係夜行性動物，佢係下晝出沒多啲。
呢個，見到兩個字 ，twilight 就係嗱呢個係咩啊 ？time active 啊，即係有幾多時間嗰隻貓係 active。咁你就見到啦，我 select 咗一個區域，你就可以睇到邊個時間係最活躍，邊個時間係相對地冇咁活躍，邊個時間咧係 in between。呢啲咧0800啊1000係嗰啲幾多點鐘啊？呢個 time of the day。
我行山嘅時候，多數都係下晝都見到野豬多過朝頭早。
野豬應該係夜晚先出嚟，貓就唔係啊，貓就嚟咁 field trip 你就知道，我哋去九龍公園尋找貓。有冇人去過九龍公園見過貓？之前好多黑貓，你帶我哋去揾咯。不過其實好容易揾咯。我去呢個 field trip，即係上個禮拜去一個 pre-trip 嘅時候，我哋都揾到好多貓。 佢哋好中意等人餵啊！好啦，嗱咁咧，其實咧，如果你知道佢哋好中意等人餵嘅話咧，咁你就答到 short question 嘅第一條。另外就係想喺今個星期六去 field trip 嘅時候，就等你哋可以熟習下用望遠鏡，好快你哋可以操作到，唔使擰來擰去都操作到。要四個，你要不停帶把尺去咧，要量度住人與人之間嘅距離。
貓群裏邊咧有冇啲貓老大啊？
貓老大咩啊？講一次。
即係會唔會有貓老大呢樣嘢？貓
老大即係嗰隻 dominating cat 係咪？貓老大啊！即係最大嗰隻貓，即係一個 community 裏面最大嗰個。
係啊，會唔會有啲咁嘅嘢啊？
梗係有啦，就係喺呢個概念咧，其實係好有趣。到而家啲生態學家都仲拗緊呢樣嘢。佢哋係由1920年代到而家，即係有冇貓老大呢樣嘢？係啊，有啲群體，譬如獅子咁樣啦，好明顯有隻額頭啦。貓有冇咧？即係特別係呢啲 free-ranging cats 有冇老大啊？已經拗咗。如果佢1920年就開始拗，佢拗100年，呢樣嘢拗100年都未拗到個結果出嚟。因為佢哋有時見到有，有時見到冇，跟住就喺度諗啦。咦？咁如果我見唔到有嘅話，咁當我以為有嘅時候，嗰隻係咪真係額頭嚟嘅？係咪真係老大嚟？
係咯。
我哋
去大隻㗎嘛。
我哋去屋企咩最大貓？有啲時候，好驚。如果我去到 field trip，去到講咧點樣管理啊，控制啲貓，跟住見到啲貓義工，你知貓義工咧有啲好惡㗎。
點樣惡法？理性定唔理性啊？即係餵佢咁樣咯。
你唔可以餵嘅，淨係可以貓義工餵。佢哋可能佢有時好獨立，貓
佢哋餵就得啫嘛。
係啊，佢哋餵就得㗎。試過有朋友同我講啦，唔可以餵貓，餵之前要通知當地嘅貓義工。唉，明白。
活着義工。
但係有啲貓義工咧會捉咗啲貓攞嚟自己養，捉啲流浪貓去自己養，搞笑！流浪貓變家貓，
係咪靚嗰啲先捉啊？
去邊度捉啊？
唔係，係咪靚嗰啲先捉嘅？
靚嗰啲先捉啊？
佢哋啊？
唔知喎，佢哋要捉將啲浪捉走，好搞笑。貓義工有冇聽過啊？領養啲流浪貓之前要家訪嘅，哇！嗰啲程序啊、手續啊，我見過網上有人投訴，又話咩貓義工要每個月家訪你啊，睇下你屋企有冇裝嗰啲咩窗花啊、乜剩啊咁樣嗰啲。
咁都好嘅，唔係咩？費事跳落街啊嘛。
咁都係嘅，對隻貓嚟講係好嘅，即係對俾人養就喺屋企嗰隻貓嚟講就係好嘅。
係咯。
成日見人餵貓。 好，我哋翻嚟。Let's go to the second part. Bigger home, smaller home. It is about the home range. 到底呢個字有冇中文嘅 home range 領地係咪？或者係活躍地帶，貓嘅活躍地帶。So whenever we say home range, we seldom just talk about the home range of one cat. We talk about home range of multiple cats. When there are multiple cats, there are overlappings. And then when there is overlapping, you see this concept, neighborhood. Neighbor, 鄰居. Cats have neighbor too. And then there are some space which are overlapped. And then through these overlapping areas, cats can come into contact with each other. Okay? Their contacts may happen the most frequently inside these overlapping areas. Okay? So the overlapping can, these paths or these possible channels of contact, you can extend it indefinitely, but I will just draw these to show they can mate with the cat next to them, or they may compete with the cat next to them. And then there is some observations. First, if you have more cats in a defined area, then you have a higher cat population density. And if you have a higher population density, then you will see a higher degree of overlapping. Normally, it is 30%, but this figure can go up to even 100%, meaning complete overlapping. Let's say a new cat moved in. Okay, you see 5 cats here, and then now this is the 6th cat, cat number 6. It moves in, and then you see its home range and its territories are highly overlapped with those of the neighboring cats. So this is the situation which happens when the population density is too high. Then you see complete overlap. That's why you see cats occurring in groups. But sometimes people say that those cats abandon their own territory and then and then they choose to live in a group life. Apart from cats, sometimes you see other animals. This is a badger, fawn, okay? And you see badger in Europe, but sometimes in America you see this one. This is a raccoon. 知咩係 raccoon 啊？有冇睇嗰套乜鬼嘅？唔記得個名添。浣熊啊 ，OK？ 浣熊。Sometimes other animals who mark their own territories will share the living space with cats. So we say that it is interspecific overlap. Interspecific. Let's split up this word. Inter means between, okay? And then specific is the adjective for species. 係咪清晰啲咧？ Between species, the overlapping of home range and territory between species, cat and badger, cat and raccoons, so different species. And then sometimes cat will enlarge their home ranges. So male cats, adult cat, body mass, it means larger cats or heavier cats. And cats with low reproductive success means that they could not find their mate. They will expand their home range. It just means that they will explore more space or they will patrol a wider area around their territory. So I would say that all these factors are grouped. They can be grouped, and then this is group one. This is group one, which is about the physiological factor. Okay, related to the body or the life cycle of cats. Another group is about the community of cats, the community level factor. If there is not enough food, or if the food are fed by human to cat, then they will enlarge the home range. So you see here, food is abundant. There is enough food because humans constantly distribute food to cats. This photo is taken in Japan. You see, there is a high concentration of cats. Cats are very clever. When there is enough food, they will reproduce more frequently, giving birth to more litters. And then you will see a high population density. But if there is not enough resources, the nature will eliminate some individuals of cats. Okay? Some cats may die when there is not enough food. After the death of them, the population density will drop. Then there will be a low population density. And then you can see a larger home range per each cat. So this is the community level factor, factor group number 2. And then factor group number 3. This is related to latitude and then precipitation. You can see this is a GIF. And then in this GIF image, the blue area refers to the places with the most rainfall. The green areas refers to area with less rainfall. So blue space, very wet. Green space, very dry. And then the blue space is around the equator of the Earth. Equator, equator, 赤道, okay? If you draw a line along equator, it divides the Earth into 2 equal parts. That's why we call it equator, equator, okay? And then as you go up from the equator, equator, or you go south, either direction, you are increasing the latitude. latitude 係咪叫做經度啊？我已經唔記得咗啦。總之咧，就係你越上嘅話咧 ，latitude 就會嗰個數目字就會越大啦。Or if you go further downward, the figure of latitude will also increase. What does it do with the home range size of cats? Cats are carnivore, so it depends on food chain or food web. 經緯度，講係經度定緯度咧 ？latitude 啊 ，latitude、longitude 加埋就係經緯度啦。咁 latitude 係經度定緯度 ？longitude 係打俾 latitude 啊，有兩個 concept 嘅。Concept number 1 latitude 就係 horizontal bars。OK，concept number 2 longitude, vertical bars. In Chinese, latitude, longitude. We call them 經緯度，但我就唔記得咗經度係 latitude 定係緯度係 latitude，我忘記咗，唔好意思。So get back here. So you see, in these places, LA 緯度 OK. In green areas, it is quite dry. Little rainfall. 勁你哦，勁度就使喺橫，所以就係佢嗌緊交喎，你哋點啊？橫直啊？唉，呢個就係我查 Yahoo 字典啊。Okay, so in dry area, it is quite dry. When it is dry, there is less vegetation. Less vegetation, it means there are less small animals. Less small animals means there is lower density of prey, or just lower prey density. Less prey, okay? Less food. When a cat faces a low prey density, little food, okay? So it has to enlarge its own home range. Larger home range, then it can include more prey, more possible prey. So that is the effect between latitude, precipitation, and prey density. And then we relate it to the home range, okay? So the logic is very simple. Higher latitude, less rainfall. Less rainfall, less vegetation. Less vegetation, it leads to less smaller animal or less prey. So cats will have to enlarge their home range. In other words, when we have to manage cats, it is easier to do so in lower latitude region or near the equator, because cats are more concentrated than further in the north or further in the south. So that is the basic logic of cat management with respect to latitude or with respect to place. And then people often ask a question: does a fat cat have a larger home range? So what do we mean by fat? Of course, we can use the concept weight to express fat. Okay, so you see underweight cat, ideal body condition, and overweight cat. This is thin cat, this is normal cat, this is fat cat. Fat. If a cat is fat, will it require a larger home range? So we take a look at this equation. You see BMR on the left-hand side. It is called the basal metabolic rate. Basal metabolic rate. Or some people call it base metabolic rate. It depends on which country you come from. What is this? It is the energy that you keep burning even if you do nothing. Okay? Your body constantly needs energy. A cat also. The body of a cat constantly needs energy. If a cat is fatter, does it need more energy? Maybe. So scientists use this equation to express this metabolic rate. Now, this equation is in fact a regression equation. A is the intercept, and B is the regression coefficient. So these two numbers are just numerical figures. But this M is more important. What is M? M refers to mass. A fat cat has a higher M, higher mass. An underweight cat has a lower M, lower mass. So effectively, if you increase M, you are increasing BMR. More energy has to be burnt constantly. A cat needs more energy if it is heavier. So if you need a higher BMR, or if a cat has a higher BMR, it needs to find more food to eat. If you need to find more food, then you need a larger home range. So this is also a very basic logic when you are analyzing the body energetics, okay, animal energetics, or the energy balance of an animal. Some people do not use BMR. Okay, BMR is just an approach. Approach number one, okay, or method number one, BMR in asking this question. Approach number two is BSA. It is here, BSA. Now you see this cat here. This cat is already dead. Why is it dead? Because scientists killed it so that it can be cut along its belly. When you cut across the cat, you stretch the skin of the cat. This way, you can find out the body surface area. BSA, okay, body surface area. 哇！以前咧有睇過幾本書係關於呢啲，好有趣。And also you see a regression equation here. And you also see this M. This is also mass. Remember, a fat cat has a higher mass, and if the cat is fatter, then its body surface area is larger. So you may ask, what is the relationship between BSA and home range? The answer is simple. If you have a larger body surface area, and then remember, a cat is an endovert, 恆溫動物. It has to keep its body temperature at a certain level. So if the surrounding environment is colder than the body temperature, the cat is constantly losing heat to the surrounding environment. Heat loss, okay? Larger body area, larger body surface area, more heat loss. Heat is a form of energy. If you lose energy constantly, your body will tell you you need food. Why? As you lose energy, you need new energy into your body. Where can you absorb new energy? Food. So you need more food, okay? When you need more food, you need a larger home range. Why larger home range? So that you can find more food, okay, within that range. So again, if you use equation 1 or approach 1, body the base basal metabolic rate or the body surface area, you arrive at the same conclusion. A fat cat needs a larger home range. And of course, some scientists, they just use this R. This R is the short form for required energy. Energy. R. So if you keep a cat, you may see some poster like this. Kitten, lean cat. Lean means very, very thin. Overweight cat. How much energy do they need? Okay, so for an overweight cat, it needs this amount of calorie. But if the cat is smaller, then it needs less calories. So this required energy is expressed in terms of calories, or 1,000 calories, K calorie, 1000 cal. Okay. If you are interested in keeping fit, then you should be very familiar with this unit. Again, it is related to M. Okay, but depending on the age of the cat or the sex of the cat, A and B, the number figure of A and B may change. Okay, but if you need a higher R, or a cat requires more energy, then it needs more food. So larger home range. So when you are managing cats, if you have a choice, you can manage fat cat or thin cat. Which one do you prefer? If I were the conservationist, I would prefer managing thin cats, or I would prefer managing cats when they are still young. When it is young, they need less food. Less food, smaller home range. Smaller home range, easier to locate the cat. If you can find the cat easily, then you can catch it more easily. And then with all these equations, then in the last 10 to 20 years, the scientists came with this new equation. This is H, and then R over P. So you see, when there are more resources inside a home range, okay, I use fish to express resources. If you have more resources inside this home range, you only need a smaller home range, okay? But if you have only 1, 2, 3, if you only have 3 fish here, you need a larger home range. But if you have a higher concentration of fish or resources, you only need a smaller home range. So this H is in fact home range. The orange is the territory, okay? The blue space is the home range. What is R? R is the required energy for a cat to survive, the required energy. And P stands for provided. Is the energy a unit space provides, the energy provided by a unit space of home range. If on a per unit basis, if the home range provides more energy per unit space, then the required, the home range size is smaller. Okay, so that is another approach to find the answer to this question. Does a fat cat have a larger home range? And there are some additional information like the females are smaller than males. Okay, so if you take a look at this picture on the left and on the right, which is male, which is female, which one is the boy, which one is the girl? Given this statement, you can identify that the female is the cat on the right, and the male is the cat on the left. So it differs from the case of reptile. You remember in the last lecture, I've told you that birds or reptiles, female birds are heavier and larger than male birds. But for mammals, the situation is reversed. Male cats are larger than female cats. And then if you classify free-ranging cats into the three groups, you will find that the home range of the cats is like this: house cat, then stray cats, then feral cats. Perhaps it is due to not just due to the availability of food, but also due to their other sides of behavior. For example, house cats, they know they have to return to the same house so that they will not patrol a wide space. And then, or they, I mean, how should I say it? They do not have to patrol the space for food, so they can just go around, okay? Because they already have enough food, so they can go around freely. But for stray cats and feral cats, because they need to find food on their own, even stray cats are fed by humans. So they tend to conserve their energy. When they conserve their energy, they will remain inactive for a longer period of the day. It just means that they will have to make their home range a little bit smaller than the house cat. So that is how home range size differ among house cat, stray cat, and feral cat. It's all dependent on the required energy. And, or you can say it's all related to the energy balance. So if I have to control cats, maybe I should start with feral cats. And then people are sometimes they are so concerned with free-ranging cats. Why? You can see this cat on the left. It has caught a rabbit. On the right, this official has caught a cat, and you can see this cat is trying to fight back by extending its claws. Okay, but resistance is futile. The cat is completely in control by the government official. It is because in some places of the world, cats may prey on domestic animals or poultry, 家禽. Okay. If I live in a farm village and I keep some chickens and ducks, but there is a feral cat around, that feral cat is considered a pest. And also, if I am an official in a nature sanctuary, 保護區或保育區, and then if I see a cat in the sanctuary, I would be worried because the cat may kill wildlife of conservation interest. So, no cat in nature, no cat in urban. So that is why people are so concerned with free-ranging cats. It is for these reasons. Okay, let's take another break. After this break, we will return to another long part of this theme, the dispersal of cats.
有冇睇過呢條片？
要管理啲貓吐絲冇喎，咩嚟㗎？睇下先。好搞笑。係咪綁喺佢背脊？永動機，搞笑。喂，你有冇睇咧？連登咧有個人成日又係發明呢啲嘢㗎，佢會畫啲 GIF 圖咧，佢會發明啲即係唔知乜家伙嘅嘢，好搞笑喎又係。你有冇見過？有冇人睇過？有個會員又係發明呢啲嘢，高手嚟㗎。係啊係啊，你又知啊？你都睇嚟，你都成日上去連登嗰度玩㗎嘛？發明家，現代發明家。 睇下先。Simon 1.3同埋2.3係咪好多題目？會唔會太多啊？會唔會太長式咗？
肥貓係咪應該減肥啊？
肥貓係咪應該減肥？你控制唔到啲 free range cats 㗎喎，你可以唔餵佢食嘢，但係你唔餵佢食嘢嘅話咧，又會將佢個 home range 擴大咗㗎。可以叫啲人餵佢食嘢，又或者餵啲冇咁有營養嗰啲嘢。肥貓。
究竟貓會唔會食老鼠啊？
食，梗係食啦！貓不知幾中意食老鼠啊！如果唔係點會貓捉老鼠？點會 Tom and Jerry 咧？
我聽過嗰件貓係純粹為咗玩啲老鼠。
佢哋會玩佢啲獵物，即係包括老鼠。去個洗手間先。
MC 第二條點解啊？
咩啊？聽唔到。
MC 第二題點解啊？
哦，
P 字頭啊嘛。
留啲驚喜俾你，而家講，嚟緊呢 part 講。
我查到兩個意思啊。
你查到陣間話俾你聽， OK，我會記住你啱啱問你啊。All right. Last section of this lecture. Section number 3. Traveling. So, a cat may leave its own home range at some point of the time. And there are two concepts. Concept number 1, dispersion. Dispersion is the distribution of the cats. So let's say I select this space, the space outlined in red. This is my study space. And in my study base, I can examine how cats are concentrated or distributed inside the space. And this is called dispersion. It is how cats are distributed or where they occur inside the study area. Concept number 2, dispersal. This is the movement itself, okay? Movement. It is the arrow. When the cat abandon the old home range and move into a new home range, this action is called dispersal. So a difference is observed between dispersion and dispersal, two different concepts. And then there is a short passage showing that there are some differences in dispersion or dispersal among cats. So example number 1, case study number 1, France. There are some stray cats. So the observer differentiate between female cats, the girls, and the boys, male cats. They observe dispersal of females at a relatively young age, 1 to 2 years old. But did the male cat move? Did the male cat disperse? No, they observe philopatry, attachment to the place. Okay, so there can be some difference in dispersal action between males and females. And you also see in another case study number 2, Sweden. So that is a rural population. I assume that they are feral cats, 野猫. This is not stray cats. But this time, it is the males, okay? 87% of males, a majority of males, okay? They abandon their natal home range. This is what natal home range means, the home range of their mother, okay? So they, who moved this time? It is the male who moved at a relatively young age. Who remained? Who didn't move? Females. Okay, 74% females remain, a majority as well. So quite a difference. And then case study number 3, UK. In Britain, this time who moved? It is the males who move. Okay, so sex has a difference when it comes to dispersion. In some case, females move. In some case, males move. So it shows the highly heterogeneous situation when we come to the study of dispersal of the cats. What caused them to move? Of course, sex and age. You see, in these case studies, the scientists pay attention to male versus female, and then they take records of when did the cats move, at what age. And then, as I've said before, cats need space, and then the formation of the home range depends on population density. So if there are more food, maybe the cats wouldn't move. Or if there is a lower population density, then the cat will not move. And then philopatrism. This is just another word for the concept I introduced earlier on, philopatry. How cats stay in one place. And this is very interesting. Factor number 4, inbreeding avoidance. This word inbreeding, in Chinese, it means 近親繁殖. 近親繁殖. It is the breeding activity among closely related family members of a family of cats. But if, as human, we know that we cannot perform inbreeding. Otherwise, there will be serious consequences. So this is the definition of inbreeding. If you have time, you can read it. Okay, definition. For human and also for cats, if there is inbreeding, there may be something called inbreeding depression. This is a negative consequence, a consequence that you do not want. So scientists are always curious about that. Do cats avoid inbreeding? So you see, inbreeding, we say that there will be reduced fitness. So you see, from the point of view of appearance, these cats have strange face. It seems that their face are somewhat deformed, 面容扭曲. In other words, they are very ugly. These ugly cats suffer from inbreeding depression. So, let's try to ruin this family by inbreeding. What is inbreeding? Now, this family is formed by this male and this female. When will inbreeding happen? Let's say the son mates with the first, the younger daughter and the older daughter. This could be inbreeding. And there are more possible forms of inbreeding. For instance, if the son mates with the mother, then the mother will give birth to new offspring. This can also be a form of inbreeding, right? And then the father can mate with his daughter. So these are also possible forms of inbreeding. Okay. So if we do this in our society, it is strictly forbidden, right? 亂倫, okay? In Chinese, we call it 亂倫. But for cats, is it okay to perform inbreeding? Maybe yes, because when scientists take a look at some records, they find that in an island called the Grande Terre, there are 7,000 cats on this island. But when they trace back the records, all these 7,000 cats are born, or they are just the descendants of only 4 cats. So these 4 cats mate with each other. And then their sons and daughters mate with, of course, mate with each other. And after generations, so generations after generations, the population increased from 4 cats to 7,000 cats. So it means that cats can perform inbreeding without much trouble. And there are, of course, some counter-arguments saying that cats avoid inbreeding. So there are passive avoidance. And whenever there is inbreeding, you can see something called a homozygotes, which is the increasing or the increased level of homogeneity, 相似度, okay, among the genes of the offspring of the later generation. If you have a higher level of homozygotes, then it means that you will have a higher possibility of developing some inherited disease, 遺傳病. Okay, so the offspring may die after having some 遺傳病. You can see these are some recessive 隱性基因. Okay, if both parents carry the recessive gene, and then they will affect the child. But if the mating situation is like this, for those dominant genes, if one side of the parent is unaffected and the other side is affected, then all the offsprings born may be healthy, okay, unaffected, only so the 2 are affected. So this is from a genetic side. This argument is from a genetic side. But any counter arguments? So we observed that this passive avoidance due to natural selection in human, but we did not observe it on cats. If there is really a purge, a killing of those homozygotes, then how come there are 7,000 cats on this single island? And of course, there are some active avoidance, meaning that cats, they go away from their place of birth, okay, actively. They move into new places. But is this always the case? When we go back to these case studies, we see that some cats remain at their place of birth. They do not disperse, meaning that they stay at the same place. There is philopatry. So it means that it is okay for cats to perform inbreeding, 近親繁殖. And it is in fact the nature of cats to be promiscuous. So it means having more mates, more than one mate at a time. Okay. one kitten can have multiple fathers or mothers. So that is promiscuous. A cat have more than one sexual mates at a time. So this is the nature of cat. But of course, some cats will go out and find new cats, okay, strange cats. But there are some risks. Risk number one, predation. When they disperse, they will see their predators. This is a coyote, 豺狼, okay? Or sometimes some fox may hunt the cats. And also, if a cat ventures into a new space, it will abandon its original hunting range. And then the journey itself, the traveling journey, will require the use of energy. So this is also a risk. If the cat cannot find food in a new place, it will die from starvation. On the other hand, there may be some conspecific context. This word conspecific means this con means same, okay? This specific again is the adjective form of species. It means contact with the same species, or in other words, contact with strange cats. Some cats may be less active in defending their territory. But if the cat moves accidentally into the range of another cat's territory, and if the cats are active defender, then there may be serious consequence, like fighting or getting hurt. But I've just introduced the risk, okay? But there are some benefits. For instance, the mission of a cat is to produce offspring, right? After laying the kittens, and if the kittens move into a new space, it will avoid competition for food resources with the brother and sisters. So this word kin is the siblings, okay? And also, there may be some dominant breeder. Or prophilic breeder. Meaning that some cats in the community, like this one, will grab all the reproductive opportunities inside a cat community. So this is the dominant breeder. From a management perspective, if you castrate if you castrate this dominant breeder, you can control the breeding cycle of the community for a short period of time. But some cats may not have the opportunity to breed with other cats. So we say that this cat may move to a new space in search of new breeding partners. This also, this also proves that cats are promiscuous because they can have more than one mating partner at a time. And for young cats, sometimes it is beneficial to move outside the natal birthplace. Why? Because there is something called male infanticide. This can be divided into two parts. Infant means the kitten, young cats, baby cats. Bababatisai means killing. Sometimes the cat father will kill its own babies, 殺嬰, okay, or 飼嬰. This is a very common behavior in animal because the dominant male may fear that the offsprings will compete with its food resources or mating opportunities. That's why there may be infanticide. So young cats may have to avoid this disaster by moving into new space. So this is the one of the push factor of outbreeding. Okay, moving out to somewhere in search of new breeding partners. And also, you can access some unrelated mates. So you can, if you keep cats, okay, or if you are a cat owner, it is completely unsurprising. One day, if you keep a female cat and the female cats that you keep come home and get impregnated, 大肚受孕, okay, because the cats are actively searching for mating partners inside their home range or even outside their home range. So some scientists ask the question, when we see dominance among cats, is dominance related to inbreeding avoidance? So my answer is that to a certain extent. It is because some cats are dominant inside a community. So this is the dominant cat. It is defending against another cat. 就係你頭先講嘅貓老大啦 ，dominant cat. Okay, it is the cat with a higher social status inside a cat community. If you are the dominant cat, you are fine because you can get the reproductive opportunities to mate with other cats. But if you are the subordinate, 下屬 ，okay, or 下把位 ，okay, you may not have the reproductive opportunities, so you may move to a new place. But sometimes the dominant cat will release the breeding opportunities by allowing its subordinates to mate with other cats. So the boss will allow its subordinates to mate with other subordinates. Just like saying that, okay, you can mate with other cats. So this is quite interesting. And there is an article. You can visit this website. Let me show you. Let me give you the web link in MS Teams. This article is called "The Sex Lives of Cats." So some scientists use camera trap to show how complicated the mating system of cats are. So a cat is promiscuous. It will mate with other cats and have more than one mate at a time. So some scientists are looking into this behavior. So this is the meaning of promiscuous. And then for conservationists, perhaps the identification of the dominant breeder is the primary task. If we can kill the dominant breeder, then for a certain period of time, the breeding activity of the whole community can be controlled. But this only works when the population density is high enough for the formation of a community. If the population density is very, very low, a community may not form, and we may not see that dominant breeder. Then, talking about home range, we have already talked about how cats use scent, S-C-E-N-T, with their urine to mark their home range or territory. Scent, 嗅覺, okay? It is related to nose. So you see this emotion or this facial expression. Okay, you see this is a tapir, 貘, okay, 馬來貘. It is showing its teeth, yeah, and it is partially closing its eyes, and then the nostril, 鼻孔, okay, 鼻孔, is enlarged, and the upper lips is moved upward. It's being moved upward, okay? You see the same facial expression among the felis. This is 貓科動物. This is the tiger, yeah? It is extending its tongue outside, partially closing its eyes, enlarging the nostrils by pulling the muscle back to the hinder of its head. So, what are they doing? Okay, you can see the same emotion or see the same facial expression to on the cats, and we say that this is called the Flehmt response. This word, Flehmt, Flehmt, is in fact a verb, 動詞, from German. Okay, a German verb. In English, you cannot find an equivalent translation. So the scientists used the German word directly. They borrowed this word from the German language. When you say that in German, when you say die Katze Flehmt, it means the cat displays an emotion like this. Okay, it is displaying a Flehmt response. Why do they do so? Why do they enlarge their nostril and partly open their mouth, or even extending the tongue? It is because they want to detect the scent. As a cat smells something very strange, they will use this Flehmt response to enlarge the reception of chemical signals from the scent of that strange object. For instance, when you give some food to a stray cat, before eating the food, the stray cat will display this response. Maybe we can buy some strange food and feed them to the cats in Cowden Park. We can try that. You can see the Flehmt response. Cats as young as 5 weeks old can do this Flehmt response. When they smell the urine, 尿液, okay, of strange cats, they will display this response. So you see, if I spray the urine of a strange cat, this cat is immediately interested in smelling the urine because there are some signals. And then if the cat senses danger in that scent, there may be some response behavior, like escape. If the cat sense that the cat who gave this urine is a large or fierce cat, then it will escape. Or it may give out some distress call. So 有冇人未聽過貓點叫啊？喵喵叫。You watch this video and see what is the distress call. This is not ordinary meowing of the cat. It shows that the cat is very, very nervous. So why do the cats display this Flehmt response? It is because they smell two chemicals. Chemical number one is called phenylalanine. In Chinese, it is called 貓尿氨酸, something like that. Okay, 貓尿氨酸 or 我都唔記得咗中文係咩 phenylalanine. Not just cat. You can see this this chemical in the urine of lions, tigers, blah blah blah. Okay. It serves two functions. Function number one, territorial marker. Inside the home range, you can find the territory of a cat, and the cat will spray urine across the territory. In the urine, it contains phenylalanine. The phenylalanine of each cat is unique. It is just like an ID of the cat. It is telling other cats that this is my territory. Do not invade my territory. But during breeding season or mating season, this phenylalanine is also showing as a sex attractant, meaning that I am ready for sex. Please go to the bed with me. This is the use of this chemical, phenylalanine. And in each liter of urine of an intact male, you can find 2 grams of this phenylalanine. It is why the cat urine are so smelly. 嗰啲貓嗰啲尿好臭啊嘛。It is because of this chemical, phenylalanine. And scientists try to test the concentration of phenylalanine by castrating the cats. 閹貓啊 okay? People always tell you that you should neuter your cats. 閹你隻貓. Why? Because the urine will smell less will smell less odorous. 臭味 okay? Odor 臭味. If you castrate a cat, it will become neutered. 閹咗 okay? Normally, a neutered cat has a lower concentration of phenylalanine, especially on females, okay? Less smelly. And another chemical, which is also used for territorial marking, is called coxin. I forgot the Chinese name, but this is formed by protein. So cats have a high concentration of protein inside the urine. 蛋白尿, okay? By nature, all cats have this coxin in their urine. But scientists have not yet determined the function of this coxin for cats in territorial marking. And then some scientists propose that cats leave these feline or coxin using their paws, okay? 手掌, okay? Why are cats keep scratching objects? Some scientists propose that there are some interdigital glands. Now, glands means 分泌腺, okay? And then digit or digital means 手指, okay? So interdigital means between the fingers. Some scientists think that there are some glands between the fingers of the cats. And these glands can secrete some scent of that cat. So when the cat scratch an object, there will be some scent left on this object. So there may be tree scratching. This can be an activity for cats to leave their scent mark, to warn other cats not to come too close. But this is only hypothetical. 有冇教過你哋呢個字啊 ？Hypothetical. Hypothetical. There are, of course, some glands between the fingers, but are these glands for scent marking? 氣味辨識啊 ，OK 。And also, you see some carpal organ. It means that you can see some whiskers, sole, okay, sole. Whisker. Some whisker along the arm of the cat. So normally you see whisker on the face of the cat, but if you keep a cat, you can see some whisker maybe on the palm, 手掌, or along the arm of the cat. Some scientists say that these are also scent glands, 氣味分泌腺體. So at the tip of these whisker, the scent of the cat is left on an object. So this is still in dispute. Okay, scientists are still arguing whether there are such glands. And of course, there are more and more glands. Some scientists say that there are some, the cats can secrete its own scent behind its ear. Some say that there are some glands on the tail and some glands near the end of the back of the cat. Many hypotheses, but these are all hypotheses. Yeah. But what we are so sure is that cats use their urine to mark their territory, and maybe 10 or 20 years later, we will see whether there are really these glands on different body parts of the cat. Okay, and this lecture, dominance. In Chinese, dominance means 稱霸. Okay, who is the boss? If you go to work, your boss is the dominant member of the company, right? It is about power structure, 權力架構 or 權力關係. Cats have this. So I would not play this video because there will be too much lag if I play video on Microsoft Teams. I just sent you this video link. You watch it after this lecture. You will see these two cats chasing each other, and you can identify a dominant cat, a dominant individual, and the subordinate. So this is the definition of dominance. Okay, so the dominance is a repeated behavior. Whenever you put these two cats together, you can find out who is the boss. You can always find that out. And then there is some agonistic behavior. This word means, this is from the word agony. It is similar to the word aggression. Aggression. In Chinese it is aggression， 即係侵略啊 ，OK， 侵入侵性 ，OK。And then you see there are more and more elaborations. I will explain to you these keywords like individuals, like diets, like response and escalation. Okay, I will explain these words to you. So the first word, agonistic, is from the word agony. And the display of agony is called agonism, hostile relationship, right? Left or right? On the left, you see two cats are friends with each other. On the right, you see they are fighting. So I think agonism is more related to this picture, okay? The cats are unfriendly towards each other. And then number two, diet. When we say diet, we are saying that the relationship between two cats. The word diet contains this stem, di. When you see di, it means two, okay? Two cats form a diet. How about I try it? 3 cats. Three cats form a triad, but the formation of triad is based on diet. You see, 1 diet, 2 diets, 3 diets. Okay, 3 combination, and this is how a hierarchy is formed. Hierarchy means 權力架構. Okay, some cats are on top. Those at the top of a hierarchy is the dominant cat. Those at the bottom are the subordinates. And then how does dominance form? It is based on communication. When a cat sends a signal to another cat, this cat will respond. It may accept the dominant structure or it may refuse the dominant structure. For instance, when this cat stares directly on the other cat with its tail touching the ground, it is sending an agony, a signal of agony towards this cat. This cat may accept the dominant status of this cat by crouching down or by retreating. 投降, okay, 投降. But if this cat refuses the dominant behavior of this orange cat, it may fight back. Another characteristic is called submission. It means 認輸, also 投降, okay, submission. The orange cat is the dominant cat. The gray cat is submitted to the power of this dominant cat. This is the boss. And this is the subordinate. All right? And for some felis, 貓科動物, there can only be one single dominant male in society, like lions. Yeah, lions live in group, and there is only one dominant member in a hierarchy. 權力架構. Okay, but for cats, the situation is a bit different. So on the left, this cat submitted to the cat on the right. Cats are just like human. When a cat uses its paw to pat on the head of the submitting cat, it means that this is the boss. Okay. In his heart, this dark brown cat is saying, "I am the dominant cat, and you have to listen to me." This white cat is saying that, "Okay, I accept that you are my boss." Why do this subordinate accept this this boss? It is because it wants to prevent aggression escalation. If this white cat just go away, or if this white cat stand up and push away the arm of this dark brown cat, they may fight. That fighting is known as aggression escalation. Okay? And the submission is sometimes the step before dominance reversal. Cats are quite special. Some scientists observe that if a cat submits this time, after an intermediate or a long period of time, when the boss does not show any more aggressive behavior, this will become the old boss. And this orange cat will become the new boss. This is called dominance reversal. The boss now will become the subordinate in future. And the subordinate at this moment will become the new boss in future. So it is quite interesting to see this behavior. And 都播唔到 MS Team 播片好鬼麻煩，一定叻嘅，好鬼憎 MS Team 播片。And this video is from a cat cafe. Yeah. I think that a cat cafe is just like a lab. So when scientists want to test how cats form their dominance, they will put a large number of cats inside a cage and see and observe how cats fight with each other and how dominance may form. Just like a cat cafe, just like this. They use food as a motivator, and then they observe the time spent on fighting and feeding. But the experiment results are quite disappointing. It is because for most of the time, the cats are resting. Okay, for less than 10% of the time, they are feeding. So there is no competition for food resources, even though some cats are hungry. And then there is only less than 1% of the time that the cats are fighting with each other. So scientists may not be able to observe dominance formation using scientific experiments. And another issue is that they put a group of cats inside a confined space. So cats are being forced to live together. Under this situation, dominance may not form. How will dominance form? It is a rather natural process. Cats move into new space and they detect a strange cat, and one of them submit to another. So that is the formation of dominance. But if you cannot repeat or you cannot simulate this process in a lab setting, and I use a school as an analogy of dominance, 比喻, okay? How does dominance form? Okay, I am a teacher. I have to listen to my students. Okay, this is a diet relationship. At the same time, the teacher has to listen to those education experts. Okay, they are my boss. So another diet forms. It shows that the teacher cannot attend to both parties, the kids and the experts, at the same time. The teacher has to focus his or her attention on either party, okay, one after the other. The situation is the same for cats. When a cat sees the body feature of the other cat, it may pay attention. Let's say this young cat, small cat, sees another cat eating. It will think that, okay, I see a cat. The cat that I see is so big, much bigger than me, much heavier than me. If I have to fight with it, I will lose. So I will have to submit. I will have to wait until this cat finish his scavenger. After this cat finish eating, I can go to this food pile and start feeding myself. So this is what a cat will do. And then cat only assess one other cat at a time. This cat cannot assess this cat and this cat at the same time. It has to do one cat at a time to figure out which cat I can win, which cat I may lose to. And then for a cat in a diet, okay, one of them has to eventually accept dominance by the other cat. For instance, this cat is seeing another cat eating a piece of bread, okay? But this cat remains inactive. It is still waiting. So we can see that this is the boss. This cat accepts the dominant status of this boss. All right. So you see, this is a diet. In this diet, you will see this dominance acceptance behavior. The cat repeats this process time after time. And then as each cat finished assessing other cats, a dominance rank will form. Let's say there are cat A, cat B, cat C, and cat D. After the assessment among them, we will see that A is the biggest boss, B is the smaller boss, C is the subordinate, and D is the subordinate with the lowest rank. And this whole structure is known as the hierarchy. Okay? Cats will know its own position in this hierarchy. For example, cat D will have to wait for other cats to finish feeding themselves. Then the cat D can get its share. So that is all about the dominance, about the introduction to dominance. And I hope that you can master the concept like diet, triad, hierarchy, submission, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? So this is the end of this lecture. you can start doing assignment 1.3 and 2.3. You can only get the answer from this lecture for a few questions. Okay, this is normal. You will get the answer